Hey everybody, this is Sam from the Blueberry Buckle Bandits. Excited to do this league with you guys, and I wanted to just make a quick video to go over some drafting tips and some drafting strategies, as well as show you how to do a practice draft on the ESPN site as well as the app. I'll share some notes quickly. Because this is a PPR league, it means it's a points per reception league. So players who catch more passes will get more points, essentially. Quarterbacks get a big boost in this league. If they throw over 300 yards, they get a 3-point bonus. If they throw over 400 yards, they get a 4-point bonus. Running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends get a boost of 1 point if they go over 100 yards in a game. That's a good thing to know. This is a 30-second per pick draft, so everybody who's drafting is only going to have 30 seconds to pick their player, which sounds like a lot of time, but it's another reason why you want to do a practice draft, because it'll go very, very fast. So you want to just have an idea of kind of who you want to pick. Running backs, but it's really a personal preference as well. So it's up to you guys if you want to use those tips. Some fantasy football draft strategies. Oh, some of these I made up, but some of them are like givens. The first one is best player available. It's basically just draft the highest rated player available to you when it comes to your pick. A wide receiver heavy draft, to me, that means you're picking 3 wide receivers in your first 4 picks. Running back heavy strategy is you're picking 3 running backs as part of your first 4 picks. Drafting a quarterback early, that's a draft strategy. You could also draft one late. That's another strategy that I didn't write down. But it really just depends on what you like in a quarterback. Do you like having one of the elite ones like a Josh Allen or a Jaden Daniels or Lamar Jackson? Or do you want to wait till like the 7th, 8th to get a guy like, I don't know, Jared Goff or, I don't know, Kyler Murray or something like that? You could try drafting a full team. That's probably not going to happen. But you can at least try to get maybe like 3 players, like a team's quarterback, running back, a wide receiver, and maybe a flex, maybe a tight end. It really just depends on the team you pick. It's better to target players from high-powered offenses because they score more points. I think for an 18-team league, you're probably going to be able to do more, or you're probably going to be able to do a better job with maybe like a 49ers team or possibly even like a Rams or maybe a Cardinals, just because they're more spread out. They have more players, more spread out between the draft. But that is something you could try. I don't know if I've ever done that, but I don't know that I really recommend that for this type of league, because it's such a big league. But that's a strategy. That was one that I just made up. A tight end early draft is where you draft a tight end early, and the only really real ones to maybe do that with is like Brock Bowers or Trey McBride, if you can somehow get them in like the second, if that's what you want to do. I typically don't, but just kind of depends on the situation. The IR team is basically you draft as many injury-prone or currently injured star players whose draft stock has fallen as you can. This sounds like it's not a good team, and maybe it wouldn't be, and you probably will lose a couple games if you're drafting injured players or players who are on IR, but once it gets into like, I don't know, the first couple weeks or whatever, you might be able to swing by and just get like it could turn into something if they're like end up being healthy. It's just a riskier draft strategy that I don't know that I recommend, but it's a risk. So but it is a draft strategy. The other one you could do is like a fill each position. So you basically take like the most skilled positions, the running back, quarterback, wide receiver, tight end. And you just try to fill each slot before you go into like the seconds, if that makes sense. So instead of drafting like, oh, 2 running backs or 2 wide receivers in the first 2 rounds, and then you draft like a running back and a running back or something, then this one you go basically by position. I mean, for this league, might not be a bad idea because it's so big. It's really up to your personal preference on what you want to do. If any of this doesn't make sense, I completely understand. But hopefully that is in some way helpful. Other thing I wanted to show you was how to do a practice draft, and to do this from the ESPN website. You can also pull it up on your phone. Um, but you'll go to our team, which is the Garrity Bowl, and it'll have your team name here. Click on that. It gives you the amount of days until the draft, like what people you can start, and then it gives you an option to practice draft. You're gonna want to press this, and it's gonna tell you everything you need to know about the league. So let's start this. Now this is just a practice draft, but this is gonna be what it looks like for the actual draft. These are the players who are still available. These are the spots that you have to fill in your lineup. Um, so right now we're already into round 2. So I guess in this scenario of a draft, I'm kind of just going by best available player, kind of like a one of each type of thing, where I drafted a wide receiver, running back, quarterback, and now I'm probably going to go after, depending on who's available, probably a running back, just because I think at this stage there's better running backs than wide receivers. But I feel like I want to have a pretty solid running back, and this is a good place to get one. So in this scenario, I'm going to draft Pittsburgh guy. But you can draft whoever you want. It's just a matter of preference. It's just really, I don't know. It doesn't matter too much, but you can see kind of some stats and stuff, how they did last season, how they project them. So yeah, that's the draft. There's a lot of ways you can move about with the strategy, but it's kind of nice to be able to at least run through it once or twice. You can do it on your phone if you download the Fantasy ESPN app. And so I'd recommend at least trying to draft before, if you're interested. If you want the ESPN to draft for you and auto draft, that's fine too.